Hello, today I'm going to be taking a look at two new figures for Marvel Crisis Protocol. These are Shuri and Okoye, possibly is how that's pronounced, from Atomic Mass Games. So there you can see for Wakanda, the two ladies in question. This includes both miniatures, the bases, their stat cards, tokens, and tactic cards. So without further ado, let's see what we actually get in the box. So, bit of cardboard, lovely. Read this first. Read this instruction booklet carefully before assembling your miniatures. Here we have 10-step program to build Shuri and only 7 for Okoye. Shouldn't be anything major there. Although I do notice, once again, they're failing to put sprue numbers on the actual instructions. I don't know why they keep doing this. It's fine as long as you don't have anything that looks similar. So, you get a set of 4 of their scenic bases, including beer bottle and coffee cup for you to strew in the streets, because littering is fun, kids. You can see there's a good amount of detail on them. Nice crisp casts. And only 1 sprue contact point, so shouldn't be an issue to clean up. Then we have Shuri. So, not many components to worry about. This is good though, is it? Yes. In the first run, they would put extra random bits on sprues, so maybe you get a second Spider-Man head for no reason, or 3 of Captain America's left shoulder pad and 2 pouches, but they all had different numbers. So, or Doc Ock's claws were particularly bad. So at least in this case, they've got the same number, so you know this is just a spare 13, because the first run of the box sets, they have all individual numbers on them, so they look like they're different components, rather than just duplicates. Very fine miniature. Still a good amount of detail on there though. Especially on the back. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. You can just see that presumably vibranium sort of work on her outfit. These are the CAD design. There's some unusual jigsaw pieces. So this is actually bottom of the waist and sort of skirt that the legs fit into. Be interesting to see how it goes together. And then Okoye, less pieces. No duplicates on this one. So we have the arms, legs and torso. It comes with an additional scenic piece to stand on. Not optional unless you plan on building your own bit of scenery. Or, well actually, I wonder if height-wise it's the same as one of these steps. When I'm building it, I'll have a look and see if this can be traded out in place of just having her stepping down off a step instead, because not everybody needs to bring a bit of rubble with them. Again, lovely detail, especially on this, I suppose, loincloth or tabard front. Just chevrons running all the way down it. Gorgeous. And then stat cards and tokens. So, let's see if I can get these out. Tokens are quite nice. Not sure what they do. Good quality of print on them. We've got advanced R&D and vibranium shielding as tactic cards. So, advanced R&D, unaffiliated. Character can spend 5 power to play this card. Choose a number of allied characters equal to the power spent, and each chosen character gets 1 power. Ooh, so you can stockpile it on Shuri and then pass it out. That's quite good. And vibranium shielding. Passive invulnerability. When a character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the amount suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. Wakanda is the active ability. Black Panther or Shuri may spend X power to play this card. X must be at least 1 and no more than 5. This round, the character and allied characters within X of this character gain the invulnerability innate superpower equal to the amount of power played. So if you can keep your team together, you can prepare them for taking a massive hit. Good in the last turn when you're trying to hold an objective, or early in the game when you're preventing a lot of damage being done. Having a look at Shuri herself. So 5 health, movement of medium, height 2, 3, 3, and 3 for defense across the board, so that's quite good. She has the Panther gauntlets. If it would deal 1 or more damage, it deals 1 instead. But after this attack is resolved, push the character away. After the attack is resolved, the character gains 1 power. That's not bad as a sort of standard strike. Sonic Crush, after the attack's resolved, she gains the stun and stagger on wilds. After it's resolved, the target character gains the stagger special condition. Fair enough. She has Super Genius, upgrades, and the Head of Wakanda R&D. Whenever this character rolls dice, the effect resolved, it gains 1 power if it rolled at least 1 critical failure. Okay. Our damage side. Nothing much changes there. So that's Shuri Okoye. Standard. Less wounds. Surprised she only has move medium, considering people like Zemo can move around long. I would imagine she'd be a bit faster. So again, 3, 3, and 3, fairly standard for defense. Ignore strike and spear blast. Let's have a look at this. Spear thrust. So pierce, change one of the defending characters results to a block or blank. Oh, sorry. Wild card, block, or critical results to a blank. So that's quite good. I wonder when that comes in. I suspect, depending on the turn, who has priority, your opponent would still get their roll up for the critical. Flurry, after this attack's resolved, the character may make a strike. And another allied character within 2, targeted by an attack, can use this superpower. The character becomes the target of the attack regardless of the range and line of sight. So for 2 power, you can pass hits onto her. She can re-roll attack and defense dice. She is martial artist as well. Again, nothing massively different whenever she flips. There we go. That's Okoye and Shuri. I'm going to move on here and build them. I'll be back in a moment and let you know how that went. Okay, folks, I've built Shuri and Okoye, possibly how that's pronounced. They weren't without difficulties, I will say that. There's a couple of pieces that are particularly irritating. So we'll start with Shuri. As you can see, nice dynamic model, good pose. Issues I had with her though. First off, the hair. If we have a look at the actual build guide, you'll see the hair is in a completely different position. And the reason for that, here we go. Their hair comes down over this shoulder. My hair went the other direction. And that's simply down to the fact that the join for the hair, for the ponytail, is, and you see this tiny triangular piece here that almost looks like another fold in her hair. And the equivalent here is practically non-existent. So really all that ended up doing was gluing the hair to the back of the head, and whatever set it fell into, that's just how I left it. These connection points, not these ones to the actual gloves themselves or the jaw, but the back of these arms, so where they attach to the torso, they're practically flat as well, as is the head. You see there's only a tiny, I mean, you're talking micromillimeter raises as actual locking lugs to key these into place. So with Shuri it wasn't so bad, because you can position it and have a look and see where her head is. In fact, even then I think her head is slightly too far forward from where it should be. But overall, fairly quick build, a decent miniature. Okoye, again, I had a similar problem with the locking lugs on certain parts. So the head again is practically non-existent, which does mean you can pose it a bit better, but also means you have to really take care to make sure it's not so off-centered. You can build her walking down a step, so you don't need that extra bit of rubble if you don't want her to actually be walking along the street carrying a bit of rubble with her everywhere. Which is quite a nice pose. The biggest issue I had was the joins on the hands. So the arms, this arm fits fairly snugly onto the shoulder. This arm, there's a bit more wiggle room, so I wasn't 100% certain it was in the correct position. Had to come back to it a couple of times to make sure. But then when I came to actually attach the hands are on the spear haft, so it gives you at least something to hold on to maneuver. But when you're attaching it, the wrist positioning, the actual joints for the hand to the wrist are so tiny that it's very easy for one part to come off when you're trying to glue the other. There's no real keying on it. Again, where are we? Here we go. These little squares that are supposed to key the pieces together are so negligible in real life. On these renders, which I'm sure you can blow up to the size of your monitor and will look magnificent, but when you produce this in 28mm or 30mm or whatever these are, 42 or something, who knows, they are so small you may as well be trying to glue a square of paper to another square of paper, and hope that those two minuscule pieces key together. So if you're getting on a bit like I am, you'll find yourself quite frustrated with some of these pieces because they just don't lock together. It's not a big chunky keying position. People who are younger and more nimble and with better eyesight may not find them as aggravating, and fair play to you, but they did go together. They go together quite well. It'll be interesting to see how they paint up and also how they play on the tabletop. So why don't you let me know below if you're going to be adding some Wakandan to your games of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.